So some people might be surprised to hear this, but in doing my research on the situation in Palestine, I like to listen to a lot of pro-Israeli voices to hear what kind of things they're saying on the other side. This is for a few reasons. Number one, for me, I want to make sure that I'm doing my homework and not missing any key details. Sometimes sources that we listen to leave out information that doesn't fit their narrative, and I want to be looking at all angles. But number two, it helps you get inside the mind of the people who are on the other side of the argument. In this case, the people who are trying to justify Israel's crimes against the people of Palestine. And so I seek out interviews with pro-Israeli voices on shows like Piers Morgan. I listen to conservative Zionist nutjobs like Ben Shapiro, and I look for IG pages here that are spreading propaganda in the community. And so I wanted to show you an example of one of these pages and the kind of propaganda that they're trying to spread. This post was published on a page called Black and Jewish Unity. They have about 170,000 followers, and they spend all day spreading non-stop Zionist propaganda. And in this post, they try to claim that the reason why so many young people are in support of the Palestinian cause right now is because colleges and universities have been taken over by the pro-Palestinian agenda to take over the minds of America's youth. I'm not kidding. You could read the whole thread yourself. It's hilarious, or at least it would be hilarious if I didn't know that so many people are falling for this shit. In case you're wondering, no, there is no sinister plot to take over the minds of America's youth. The reason so many young people are in support of the Palestinian cause is because they see for themselves plainly on their screens every day how brutal the Israeli government has been to the Palestinian people. Young people have more access to education and information than any generation in the past, and they're not susceptible to the same old pro-Israel propaganda that previous generations were. If you really want to know who's behind this sudden spike in pro-Palestinian sentiment that's taken over the country, you could thank Israel. For years and years and years, the American public have largely been ignorant about what's happening in Palestine and Israel. They never had to think about it. But since October 7th, for the last 2 months, it's been front and center on everyone's screens nonstop. We see photo after photo and video after video of innocent children who have been murdered by Israeli airstrikes, paid for by US tax dollars, made by US weapons manufacturers. And where before most people could just ignore it, now there is no ignoring it. It's everywhere. And so when you see those kind of atrocities day in, day out, what do you think people are going to do? Do you think they're going to take the side of the people who are responsible? Or are they going to take the side of the people who are calling for an end to that brutality? The pro-Israeli voices just can't accept that justice and morality are not on their side in this one. And so they're grasping for straws, trying to explain why so many people are not on their side. But truth and justice is always on the side of the oppressed, not the oppressor.